Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at something that is far from new. This is the Razer Phone 2. It's been on the market for about a year now, and it was a flagship device from Razer when it launched. Originally, I believe the price was $799, which at that price point, even though it was a gaming-centric phone, was a compelling one considering it was coming in lower than much of the competition, but offering better specifications. Now, if you're asking why I picked this up, it's because you're going to find this for an even more affordable price since Razer appears to be exiting the market. I know they've laid off a tremendous amount of their smartphone development division, which is sad. Not because I was such a huge fan of it, but competition's competition, folks, and I like to see it. So I was hoping they would stay in the business, and I even contemplated this phone when I was looking at the Note 9, just because on paper it had better specs outside of missing an S Pen and, also missing not just an S Pen, but an OLED display, which without OLED displays these days, I kind of won't even look at a phone. But it does still have that 120 hertz IPS panel. Greetings from the CEO, co-founder, which at this point that greeting isn't so important, but you're still getting a premium device here. And it did get a software update in February, I believe, up to Pi. So I don't think it's going to be getting necessarily any more updates, but for an unlocked device, if you can find this at the right price, it's probably a good phone to pick up. Now, the design isn't for everyone. As you may have already noticed, it's kind of industrial, almost like a brick. But what it does have is 8 gigs of RAM, the same processor, which is the Snapdragon 845 that you'll find in phones like the Note 9, flagships from last year. I do actually personally happen to like the design. The speakers up here and down here give you, from what I've seen, some of the best, or I should say heard, best audio quality in the business. Power button right here on the right side. Also your fingerprint scanner, volume rockers right here, your SIM slot, as well as micro SD card slot for storage expansion. 64 gigs, that's one of the first things you'll notice that'll remind you that this is a flagship from last year, not this year. And even though, again, it doesn't have an OLED display, you do have that 120 hertz, which probably eventually will become a reality on other smartphones. There aren't too many out there that have it. This was one of, and that's part of positioning it as a gaming handset. So that's another thing you need to know. Now, I'm not going to walk through that, but I mean, it's overall, the build quality is really nice. You can see the Razer logo lit up there on the back, the glass finish. It doesn't give you any hint of not being a premium phone, even though you can now pick this up for the price that generally would not be a premium phone. So that's why I'm sharing it with all of you. Kind of pick this up to be a backup handset. That's if it all goes well. If I find problems, of course, I'm going to report them to you. I'll let you know what they are. At launch, the cameras were not known to be too hot, but from everything that I read, the new Sony sensors that are in there, once you get a third-party app in there, it runs well. 4K at 60 frames per second has been added to the capture capability. Another thing I wanted to point out. So, again, anyone who's interested in getting a premium phone at an inexpensive price, this is probably going to be a very good option for you. I'm going to go ahead and connect this to my Wi-Fi network, and I'll show you what else is in the box. It does have wireless charging. I'm not sure it's going to work with any of my Samsung Qi devices, though. I think Razer put out their own dock for a reason. And you can turn this off. It is a bit of a battery suck. What's also cool, though, about the Razer logo glowing, even though I've never been a big fan of it, is that it'll actually change colors according to different notifications you're getting. So Facebook blue, Gmail red. I mean, you see where I'm going. It doesn't have 3 cameras, but it's got 2, I think. And build quality is just, it's really like a rock. So 8 gigs of RAM in here, something that with the... Why is it? I thought it was connected. I thought we were good to go. With, I'm typing in my key again. With the Note 9 was a $1,250 option. Here now you're getting it for, well, nearly nil. I mean, I think Best Buy is selling this for $400 right now, unlocked. If you buy it with a carrier, I think it's $350. I think Walmart is clearancing it for $300. So that's why I picked it up as a backup phone, because if it works just as that, I will be more than happy, because it is a good piece of kit. I mean, this is more powerful than many current smartphones, and really just got a bad rap because of its design and the fact that it was targeting gaming. There's that Type-C port, no headphone jack, but you should have known that already. I'm going to skip that, skip anyway. I'll let Google track me. I'm not going anywhere. No thanks. And it'll probably eventually prompt for an update, which I'm not going to do. I'll show you what else is in the box here, which is just going to be, I believe, a charger and headphone jack. So we've got paperwork, and there is the Razer branded charger. We have our Type-C headphone jack and charging cable. And that's pretty much it. I'm not even going to pull that out because it's really not that interesting. Braided cable and everything. So even though you don't have a headphone jack on the device, they do include a Type-C headphone adapter. So that's certainly good. Was it also headphones? Did they also get that generous? No, just an adapter, no headphones. But again, at the price this phone is going for now, I really can't see anybody being upset with this. I mean, if you can find it at Walmart clearance for $300, even if you can't, $350, $400, you still are absolutely getting your money's worth. The only thing that I will say about this phone, besides people who are not a fan of its form factor, again, this is a 5.7-inch display on a phone that is comparable to, something like my Note 10 Plus. You can see right there. I mean, the Note 10 Plus is taller, but as I make my phone freak out. But the thing you have to bear in mind is that in spite of having a 5.7-inch display, it still is 1440p resolution. It's got that 120 hertz. It has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. So it's got a lot of things going for it. But that's pretty much it. I'll be sure to get back to all of you with an update on whether or not I think it's doable as a backup phone. But I think for a lot of you, this is a steal as a good primary phone, even though I went after it as a backup. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.